Can you really trust some of the things that you find on Amazon? That is what we're going to talk about today, so stay tuned, guys. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and that is correct. Today I want to talk about some incredible finds that are on Amazon. I know when it comes to Amazon, sometimes it is a hit or a miss with a lot of different things, but today I want to talk about the products that I have found on Amazon and have used and found are really, really good. And now some of these products are not just specific to Jeeps. There's only, I think, about 2 products on my list. A lot of this is based around at camp. When you get to camp, what can you use and those type of things. And also certain things that are just universal for all off-road vehicles. So let's dive into this. Now, as we dive in here, I do have my notes, 1, to keep me on track, and 2, just because some of the names are kind of odd. They're not a typical name you hear about or would think about. So I do have my notes to help with all of that. And another thing, I do not have these products in the house with me. They are either in the garage, in the Jeep, they're dirty. I'm not pulling everything into the garage, so we're going to go off of the magical view of pictures. So, as they come up, we will talk about them, my experience with them, and what I think overall. So, let's start with this. It is the Lost Horizon sleeping mattress, or it's the Lost Horizon mattress, however you want to look at it, but it is on Amazon. Now, I came across this thanks to Overland Adventures. Matt from over there, he uses it, he raved about it on so many different videos that I wanted some kind of mattress that was going to be comfortable to sleep on when I was at camp, and that wasn't just your ordinary air mattress. Now, I've used air mattresses my whole life, all of my camping, and I've even slept on the ground, and no matter how many times, the air mattress always loses air and is uncomfortable and cold, and the ground is just hard as a rock. Go figure, right? But I got this mattress. Now, I do have a double so that I fit and there's some extra space, but it fits perfectly in my T4 hub tent, in my Gazelle hub tent, guys. It fits perfectly in there with enough space still in the tent for a little walkway in and to put my gear that I want in the tent with me at night. Now, this mattress does come, it is quite bulky. Don't get me wrong, it is if you don't have a rooftop tent, now they do fit in rooftop tents, but if you don't have a rooftop tent and you got to roll that up every time and put it in its, carrying bag, because it does come with a bag, it is a bit bulky. It is quite large. It takes up a little bit of space, but in my eyes, it is completely worth it, because as soon as you unroll it, you unscrew the 2 ends. There's 2 caps on the ends. You can flip them around because it has a deflate and inflate, I don't know if you will, stopper on it that allows it. You can also get them with an air pump that, can deflate them faster too. But inflate and deflate, you flip it so it starts inflating. It'll blow up on its own. It is a self-inflating mattress. Now, if you're like me and you want just a little bit more cushion in there, you can take an air pump to it and blow it up. You can't blow it up a ton, but you can blow it up some to where there is a little bit more cushion. But overall, guys, this mattress is amazing. It is the most comfortable air mattress I've ever been on. Now, it is a combination of air and foam. That's what makes it so comfortable. Don't get me wrong. But it is super comfortable, and that foam works great as an insulator. I have never slept on an air mattress and not been cold. This is the first mattress I have slept on where it has been cold outside, it has gotten under 30 degrees, and I am not cold one bit because there's nothing coming through the mattress to make me cold. And it is awesome. I absolutely love this air mattress, guys. And if you're looking to upgrade, whether it's your rooftop tent or just your ground tent, or just upgrading your mattress that you have guests come sleep on, guys, this is a super great find. Keeping on the aspect of life at camp, some of the other things I have found on Amazon that was kind of like a 50-50 toss-up in my eyes and ended up being really, really good is some of their camping cookware that they have. Now, as you guys know, space is a luxury that a lot of people don't have on their in their off-road vehicle. Unless you got a full-size rig that has so much space, a lot of the times space is not really there, and having a bunch of pots and pans and things that don't really collapse or can be fit in each other, they just hog up space. I was a victim of that most of this whole year. I have traveled around with either some cast iron or some old pots and pans that I had, and they literally hogged up a lot of space. A whole tote designated to nothing but kitchen cooking gear. It was ridiculous. But now I'm gonna go to my phone for this because I can't remember the name. But a company called Overland, O-D-O Land, it'll appear right here. Me and my dad decided to test out their product because we needed new camping gear, like kitchen cooking gear, and I wanted something that could collapse down, real small, all fit together, and be placed in one spot in the back of the Jeep and not take up any more. So we gave this a shot. Guys, they have worked tremendously well. The pans are non-stick, everything collapses in on itself, it all fits into this nice little perfect bag, and it is really, really good. Now, like I said, the pots and pans work really, really well. They are designed, there are other sizes, but they're kind of designed for like the single to two people use at camp. Typically, if you got a big crew you're wheeling with, you normally bring something bigger anyways. But they work great for 1 to 2 people. Now, the silverware they come with, they are collapsible. They work pretty well. As you use them more, they kind of become flimsier, but if you just tighten those screws, it's just a little screw on it, it holds it in place really well. And the cups, I don't really use the cups, I'm going to be honest with you. I use them if I need to measure out liquids. For cooking, I don't ever really touch them, because I always have my water bottle or one of my Yeti cups with me. But the cookware set itself holds up really, really well. Alright, and next, now this is a product that we have put it together, we have tested it. I have not used it 100% at camp. Obviously, I haven't gone wheeling since my surgery. So this is something I do have, but I have not tested. As you guys will remember, I used to use the Mr. Buddy heater that runs off of propane in the tent at night. Works great, keeps you warm, but boy does that thing make condensation like crazy in the tent. So we upgraded to a diesel heater, which is awesome. Once I get to use it actually at camp, I think it'll be great. But we upgraded to that just because we wanted more of a dry heat, and we wanted something that would heat our new tent to a better degree. As you guys know, we recently got a T8 hub tent from Gazelle, because for when me and my dad go out wheeling, we needed more space because the little T4 just wasn't cutting it for 2 grown men. So we got that. Well, we needed something that was going to heat that tent better than a Mr. Buddy heater. So we did get a HCalory, their new 8 kilowatt diesel heater, the one that comes in the little case picture. We did get that. Super simple to put together, super easy. It's been, like I said, we've tested it a couple times. It has worked great. It has not given us issues. I haven't done all the testing I wanted to because it's still down in New Mexico. But we did put it together. I did film some of it. You'll see it later on. But we do have that. And I'm really excited to see just how it works. Everything I've read, the reason we got it is everything I've read about it, all the videos I've seen, people have been loving it. I get it's a Chinese knockoff. It's, you know, it's a typical diesel heater. If it breaks, you can easily replace it because it really wasn't overly expensive. It was about 250 bucks on Amazon. So, it's doing great. Now, moving on, we're still on the camp spectrum, kind of moving to your rig. Let's talk about some of the camp lighting that you can have. Now, as you guys know, you can have all sorts of different lighting. You have those big, nice Ranger light poles from certain companies. You have lanterns, all this, that, and the other. But how about lighting that you can stick on your rig and use at camp, or if you need light on the side of the road at night because you hit a ditch or something went wrong. Let's talk about that. So I'm going to start with Auxbeam. As you guys know, if you type in off-road lighting on Amazon, the first thing that's going to appear, at least it does for me, is Auxbeam. They are huge on Amazon. That and Nightlight is another one. But I'm going to stick to the realm of Auxbeam. They are huge, and their products I thought I wasn't quite sure of at first, but they completely changed my mind. I decided to take a chance. This was like a year ago, and I was super impressed. Now they do have some lightings that you can hook on to, what do you want to call them, roof racks. You can stick them around roof racks. They have rock lights, things of that nature. I do have a couple of lights that I have stuck on in the back of the Jeep. They're inside that shine light down into the thing, besides my little light bars. They work great for cooking. These really help shine into my new storage system. But they have been working great. They provide a ton of light, and they provide a ton of light on the ground for camp itself. Now I do have some more that I've ordered that I'm going to be sticking on our new roof rack once we install it on the Jeep, because I think it'll be great to have all that extra light at camp just at the beginning, especially when it starts getting dark, we're cooking, we're trying to set up. It'll be nice to have that extra light, but they work really well. Now moving towards the rig itself, Auxbeam's auxiliary switches, their little 8-gang switch set, and that's the one I'm going to stick with because that's what I have. Flawless, guys. I have not had a set of switches that just were super simple to install, super easy to hook all your auxiliary, whether it's your winch, your lighting, whatever it is, into it, and you just literally press the button and it works. It does nothing more than works. As you guys know, I love things that just are simple and they work, they do as they say, and these switches do just that. They have not failed me once, and I have been using them constantly for 2 years now. One of the best finds besides the mattress I have found on Amazon. These are all good finds, but these switches were some of the best I have found. Another thing for your rig, I'm so very surprised by this, but I've been asked a lot about this, is the jerry can that I use to haul fuel around for the Jeep. I didn't realize that people were this interested in the jerry can, but it is a Wavian, W-A-V-I-A-N, Wavian I think it is, jerry can. It is a complete 5-gallon, I think they have another size too, but it's a complete 5-gallon, completely metal jerry can that it looks old school. You can close it up. I've never had it spill. I've never had leakage. I've never had fumes, the smell of gas fumes at all. And as you guys know, this thing at the moment lives in the Jeep. When I am out on my adventures, it is strapped in the Jeep because I don't have anything on the outside of the Jeep that can hold it. It sits in there. As I've told you guys, I fill it up to about 4.5-ish gallons, give or take. I don't fill it to the brim because I don't want issues, but I fill it there. Never had a smell of fumes, never had a leakage. And this thing has been shooken, tilted, you name it. It's been in all sorts of different positions. It has dropped out of the Jeep once because I dropped it. Nothing, not even a dent into the can. Guys, it has worked awesome, and you can find it on Amazon. Now, they aren't the cheapest thing in the world. They are about $90. Completely worth it. I do have another one coming for the diesel heater, so I can put diesel in it. I just really like these cans, guys. I love the fact that they just don't leak and they have no fume smell. And they also come with extra rubber grommets and things like that to help to seal if whatever, for instance, yours gets bad or something happens to it. Now, another thing for rigs, it's kind of universal. It depends. They make them more for Jeeps and Broncos, but they do have bags you can stick in pretty much anything. Or it's the company that I tested out that the bags are still in the back of the Jeep, Suparee. They're either roll bar bags or just they're storage bags in general, guys. They work really well and they're not overly expensive. and you get normally 2 bags for the price. So for instance, the Jeep ones, they're $70, you get both sides. I've had no issues with them. The zippers work great. There's tons of storage that helps get things up out of the way, and even though I built an entire kitchen and platform system in the Jeep, I still use those bags. I still have things in them. They're not as full as they were before, but I still have things in them. They don't come loose. They're really good, guys, and to have those kind of bags, whether it's a Jeep, your Toyota, your Bronco, full-size rig, whatever, it's nice to have storage bags that things actually fit into and they work, especially if you can kind of hang them up out of the way. I know a lot of people like, you know, the Pelican cases and the Rome Adventure boxes, things like that. Those work great too. But in the essence of keeping things in the Jeep that aren't super bulky and hanging up out of the way, or in your rig, the Suparee bags actually are very impressive. Guys, they've been in there 6 months, 7 months, somewhere in there. I have been in and out of them every time I'm off-roading. Every time I'm on an adventure, I'm in them. Sometimes I'm in them just here. Work great, no issues. So those were a really cool find on Amazon. Another thing that is a universal thing that every adventure rig probably has, and if you don't, you should have one, is you normally have a winch. Well, sometimes the winch line goes bad. I had to replace my winch line. Now, off my Smitty built winch, the winch has never failed me. It has worked great. But when I rescued that Tacoma back on Engineer Pass a while back, it did mess up my winch line. It didn't break it, but the connector piece for the winch, you know, where you put the screw into the winch that holds the line there, it ripped the cable off. So that aspect of the winch line that came with it broke, and also the hook could not come off of the winch line. So you couldn't really, if you wanted to take the winch out or anything, you had to undo the whole line and everything else. It was kind of a mess. But that winch line kind of failed. So I did go on Amazon. I was very curious to see, because there's always tons of things on Amazon. Their winch lines. I went with a company called Samout. This winch line, for instance, is a 3/8 inch line. It is about 92 feet long, and it has a brake strength of 25,500 pounds, and the hook has a hook strength of 35,000 pounds. And I can disconnect the hook, and if I wanted to, I could put any other kind of hook on there, like a Factor 55 or something other company. You can easily replace the hook on the line. And so far, guys, this winch line has worked great. I've used it a couple times already since I put it on the Jeep. Never failed me. The 3/8 is perfect. Because it's 92 feet long, it fills the drum of the winch nicely on my Jeep. I think if you went with a 1/2 inch, it might be just a little too much. You'd have to go for a shorter distance. Unless you were to, like, really, you'd have to tighten it under tension really hard. Like a lot of tension to make it all fit. But for mine, the 3/8 works great. I've rescued another vehicle, no issues. But that was a great find. It was only about $70. They have various different lengths, sizes, braking strengths, things like that. But actually finding that winch line on Amazon was really nice, because if you go to other companies, Northridge 4x4, I love buying things from them. They're not a sponsor of the channel. Love buying things from them. Their winch lines are rather expensive. You go to some of the off-road shops that are local here in Colorado, they have winch lines. They're generally over $120, if not more. Really expensive. This was about $70. Not failed me. So that was another cool find. And because it's universal, because almost all because it's universal and almost all off-road adventure rigs have some kind of winch. The winch line normally lasts a while, but if it does tend to fail, it's nice to know that on Amazon there are some other things. And then a couple other things I'm going to mention. Along with the recovery gear. You can find all sorts of different recovery gear on Amazon. Now, I know a lot of people like the big names, which none of them are a sponsor of my channel, so I don't have any of them because because they are extremely expensive. Though they work and they hold up really well, you can find some amazing deals and find some amazing things on Amazon. I have got soft shackles, I have gotten a pulley, I have gotten not a tree line, what you call them? Bungee rope that you can hook to your vehicle, drive, and it helps, you know, the elasticity, kinetic energy pulls the other vehicle out. I have gotten those off of Amazon for pretty good deals, and they work great. So when it comes to those guys, what I did is I do a lot of digging into the reviews of what people say, and read up on the companies and kind of do a comparison. If there's a couple that I find that I'm like, I like these, I do a compare and contrast, and I dig through the reviews. The reviews on Amazon can be extremely helpful, especially if they're from an actual person. You got to be careful. Some of those are fake reviews. They literally will pay people to write them a great review. Got to be careful. But some of them, you can normally tell who those people are because it's just like their first initial and a name, and you'll start seeing it appear on other products. But that's how I went through it and found it. That's kind of how we found the camp cookware. We kind of just read the reviews, compared, because a lot of the gear is all the same. It's just the quality of certain aspects of it, like the handles, things like that for the cookware. What did people think about? Another thing that you can find on Amazon are communication devices, such as, this is the one thing I can show, a GMRS handheld or a CD handheld, some kind of handheld radio. I know companies like Midland make tons of them. They're really well known, reliable, not a sponsor of my channel. But because I wheel with people that don't have communications, I needed a handheld GMRS that wouldn't break my bank, because I use this if I'm with my dad and we're filming and I'm radioing to him to drive, or someone else is using it because I'm wheeling with them. Otherwise, that was its purpose. Literally, Amazon, read reviews, over like 50-something thousand people reviewed this product, never failed me. Works great. Another thing you can get are certain brand name communication devices for a little bit lower. So, for instance, I now have a satellite communication device for when I am out on my adventures. I have the ability to stay connected and to let people know where I'm at. As you guys know, I wheel about 95% of it by myself. And I normally have no communication, which, don't get me wrong, being off-grid is awesome, but it is nice to let people know where you are. Just telling people, oh, this is the general area I plan to camp at. It's one thing. Having the ability to say, here, I made it to camp, this is where I'm at, so they know, is another. So I have a Zoleo device. It's not a sponsor of the channel. I got this off of Amazon. It was on sale. It is great. And I paid, you know, you go on Zoleo site, you pay their subscription, things like that. And you have communications. But I do have a Zoleo device that I found on Amazon. Like I said, guys, if you pay attention to Amazon, you can find some brand name things on sale. For instance, one of the KC lights, the slim lights on the front of the Jeep, I got those on Amazon. They were really cheap. Like, they were discounted. It was better than their 15%. It was better than KC's 15% off that they do during Black Friday. It was cheaper than that. Found them on Amazon. And the big name companies, they sell them through Amazon, guys. You go through, you put the warranty into their site. The actual company site, they still honor it. Zoleo honors their, you know, their warranty, things like that. KC honored their warranty, things like that for their products. So you can find some really cool brand name things on Amazon. You just got to pay attention to them. Alright guys, that is about it for today. I know there are tons of different things on Amazon that I could have talked about. I know there are other people that purposely buy Amazon products to test them. These are all products that I have, I use, and I've tested, or I am testing them. And so I wanted to share those with you guys, because for some of you guys, I get a lot of questions about these things because I've bought them on Amazon and they're just unsure. Guys, I'm telling you, if I've talked about them today, it's because I like them, they work, they actually do what they say, and they're still holding up. Now, the story could change way on down the road, but this whole year of my adventuring, these products I have been using, they've been working great. So thank you all for joining me today. If you guys haven't, check out some of my other videos, they're not half bad. Links in the description to my other social media platforms. Those, guys, the adventure continues when this isn't rolling. Now it's been a little slow because I've been in recovery, but now that that's, you know, I've progressed, it's starting to pick back up again. Also a link down in the description below to my Patreon account, guys, if you would like to help support the channel. Anything you would like to donate, there's different tiers, it's greatly appreciated. Otherwise, I will see you all next time, and have a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy your holidays, guys, and I will catch you all next week. Take care.